The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Merry meet and merry part, bright the cheeks and warm the heart. For tread the circle thrice about, to keep unwelcome spirits out. Bide within the law you must, in perfect love and perfect trust. Mind the threefold laws you should, 3 times bad and 3 times good. These 8 words the read fulfill, and ye harm none, do what ye will.
Welcome to Stirring the Cauldron on the Para X Radio Network. And now, here's your host, Marla Brooks.
Merry meet, everybody. Happy New Year, and welcome to Stirring the Cauldron. My guest tonight is our friend Nyla Carlyle, and she's here to do some tarot reading for whoever would like one. She's a tarot reader for the last 30 years and so, and she's always had an interest in the metaphysical. So one day she walked into a shop and bought a tarot deck. It was a momentous physical and spiritual experience that shook her to the core. And she found out that many times people's stories just come to her when she does readings. She's also an intuitive, somewhat psychic, and can read people's personalities just by looking at them. She's a witch, a cat lover, and an animal lover, an avid book reader, an artist, a crafter, and a retired registered nurse. So if you're listening to the live show and you want to have a reading and aren't in the chat room, come join us at paraxradionetwork.com. And let's get started. So welcome Nyla.
Anyway, let's talk a little bit, and we'll see what we have to do. So, in the beginning, we were talking about you being a reader for about 30 years or so.
Yes.
And you've always had interest in the metaphysical, but what made you want to just walk into a shop and buy a deck of cards?
That I really don't know. I don't really remember. I just, something just came over me, I guess, and I decided that I'd like to give it a try. And I can't remember if I bought a book first or if I got the cards first. But walking into the shop, there was a little shop called Gypsy Moon in the little town I lived in. And I decided to go in and see if they had tarot cards. And the minute I put my hand on the doorknob and opened that door, it felt like there was an earthquake in my body. I don't know how else to describe it. I was shaking like I can't even describe it. To me, it was like an internal earthquake. I had no idea what was wrong. And there was one other customer in the store. He left. I don't even remember what he was asking for. And the lady showed me 3 different decks of cards, and the Rider-Waite appealed to me. And she said, a lot of people start with that. So I bought that, and I just kept shaking and shaking. And even after I got back in the car, and I've thought about that a lot. I think maybe it was momentous for me because most of the readings that I do seem to be spot on, and I feel a little shaky and chills when that happens. So I think it was just something that was meant to be, and it just kind of rocked my world.
Yeah, the first time I did it too, and people go, "Oh yeah," the validation is
Yes.
kind of like, "Oh my goodness,"
Yeah.
I really did it, and then they say, "Oh, you're so good," but it's not us; it's the cards.
Yes, it is. It's something out there that just kind of filters in, and it still amazes me. It still amazes me.
Yeah, to this day, yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing too. So I'm going to jump around a little bit because I just want to make sure that we can do the hearings, the readings, and be heard. But let's talk a little bit about the witchcraft in you. When did that happen?
Maybe since I was a kid. I remember once I was about 10 and I'm thinking, oh, I wish witches were really real. And I just decided, well, I'll just live my life the way I want to. And then I saw some books and TV shows and movies, and I thought, well, I'm just going to see what happens. And I went back to the same store where I bought my tarot cards, and the lady was giving a class on witchcraft. And I took that class. I absolutely loved it. We did all kinds of divination, cards just seemed to fall in place for me. She also had runes, and I learned a little bit about runes. And when I would cast the stones, again, I could see a story and be able to read my co-witches. I wasn't really good with the crystal ball. I got a headache from trying that, but everything else we did, and I think it was more Wicca with the ceremony and everything. But it just clicked for me. It was meant for me.
Mm-hmm. And did you particularly find a path right away? What kind of a witch you wanted to be, or just kind of eclectic, or what?
Eclectic. That's the term I've applied to it. I just take bits and pieces. Definitely not a hedge witch. I cannot handle plants. They just don't do well for me. Even though I talk to them and sing to them, maybe the singing did me in. But I feel an affinity for crystals and stones, nature, trees, especially. I love trees, animals. I just feel an affinity for all that. And you can just feel the energy and the power that's out there in the universe that can come to you and work through you. And I just think it's amazing.
It is. And I'm thinking it's amazing that there's going to be so many readings. They're just coming and coming and coming. So you want to start? You ready?
Yes, I certainly am.
You don't want to lose anybody. All right. So you just need the name of the person, right?
Yes. And if they have a specific question or if they want a general reading, which most people do.
Okay. Well, I know one for sure that's a forecast for 2025, and that's Dinah.
Okay, Dinah. All righty. Let's see what we have. Okay. Hopefully that's better, and I'll be glad to repeat for Dinah and Kid.
Okay. I'm just talking a minute to see if I hear me. And I don't hear me, so that's good.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. We have time. We'll probably not do a break today. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, now it's much better. So if you want to redo them really quickly, you can. Up to you.
Okay, for Dinah, something is coming to an end for you. Either a personal situation or something that you've been involved in. You're going to have to find a way to get around the situation, though, to come out of that. It'll be kind of a balancing act for you where you have to weigh the pros and cons. But in the end, it is going to turn out really great for you. For Kid, there's going to be an issue that you've been dealing with that you're finally going to have a resolution to. It could either be in your work or in a personal relationship, but it's going to turn out much better for you, and things are going to work out.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, Tappy Cat.
Happy. Okay, Kathy. You have a situation to make a decision or have a resolution to an issue. You've been working really, really hard in regards to this, and you're finally going to see that things are paying off for you. And if it's work, it's going to work out much better than you thought. If it's actually, I think it has to do with your work and your livelihood. I think things are going to be much better for you, maybe a promotion with more money, but whatever is coming your way, every effort you have put into it is really going to pay off, and you're just going to be amazed that the results that are there for you, and it's going to be really good.
Okay, and Tina.
Tina. Tina, I think you're going to be taking on a new personal relationship. I think this might be with business or something that you're going to be starting up for yourself. You're going to feel that maybe you're alone at times in this, trying to get things off the ground or get this project started that you want to do. But it will pay off in the end. Just keep your focus on the goal. Otherwise, you could be in for a little heartache. Don't stray off the path. Once you decide you're going to do this, stick to it, and it will pay off for you. But if you don't stick to it or pay attention to everything, it's going to be a little bit of letdown for you. So just be very diligent.
Okay, I'll give you a break on that for a while. And do you ever do it reading on yourself?
Once in a while I do. I'm hard on myself. So I try not to, be too positive. Like maybe that's the wrong thing to say, but I have read for myself, and I try to be very objective in what I see, and most of the time it's pretty dead on. It's like, yeah, you need to get your oomph in gear.
Yeah, I know a lot of people. I kind of don't do it on me. I mean, I might pull a card, just one, for something, but I know myself too well, and I'm going to talk myself out of it. It's like, no, I read that, and no, because I just no.
Yeah, I used to do that when I first started reading myself, but then I'm like, well, let's look at this a little more objectively. So.
Yeah, it's not, we can always fool ourselves, but we don't do it with other people. We just spew whatever we see, we don't even give it a second thought. But with us, true. It's like, no, not good. Yeah. So do you sometimes go out and do readings at like events or something?
I used to. I did 4 or 5 of those, I think, but I haven't done it for quite a few years. It just the travel and the cost was prohibitive. It seems the cost for venues is just skyrocketed. So I do it for friends. I'll offer on Facebook once in a while. Hey, folks, if you want a reading, let me know. But I haven't done it in a public venue for quite a while.
Mm. Well, it never gets rusty. I mean, it's like falling off a horse. You get back on and it works just the same.
Yeah, and I do look at the cards from time to time still, and lay a few down and just study the cards. So I do keep my hand in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Rain wants Rain wants it, and he wants to have it about if you see any romance in the coming year for him.
Oh, okay. Well, the Lover's card did come up. Okay, Rain. Okay, you need to really apply yourself. Don't, how am I going to say this? Just be yourself. Whoever is out there for you is going to be attracted by that. Don't be a fake date. By that, I mean, I hated dating. Be yourself on dates. Don't try to tell people what you think they might want to hear. And if you don't feel anything for the person, just, let it go by the way. But I do feel that if you stick with it and really, excuse me, if you stick with it and really know what you want in a person, besides presenting yourself as the real deal to someone, you are going to connect. I feel it's going to be someone who's very strong. And I think you're also a strong person. Your personalities are going to mesh. You're not going to be the same kind of person, but I think you will mesh, and that's a good thing. We can work off of each other to strengthen each other. And I do feel that that relationship will come about for you. I'm seeing the number 6. So 6 weeks, 6 months, be patient.
That sounds good. We will take a break in a couple of minutes, but in the meantime, I had something really brilliant to say, and I forgot now. But when we do come back, there are a couple of people that you read for that have specific questions, which is good. And it was Tina Marie was talking about how doing too many readings in a row, it gets all your energy out, does it?
Oh, it does. When I was doing the venues, that's one reason I haven't done any. I was totally exhausted by the end of the day, just wiped out. So it does take your energy.
And I think too that, whatever that energy is from that person you're reading, sometimes if you're empathic at all, it kind of goes on to you, and that black cloud goes up there.
Yeah.
And that makes it different. So do you cleanse and everything before you do readings and things?
Yes, I do. And I do that very quickly in between readings as well. I cleanse the cards.
And are you the ones that never let anybody touches your deck?
No, I did. I've come to the realization, though, that I won't in the future. I just feel like this is my world, and I will. That's kind of selfish. Sounds.
No.
But if you just send out your intent, if the person you're reading sends out their intent into the cards, I don't think they need to touch them themselves, because I can pick up on that.
Yeah, because I know some people say, well, here, cut the deck, and it's like, oh, are we playing poker now? You just.
Yeah, to me, even on my side of it, that always felt awkward. And I know when I've gotten readings from other people, it feels awkward to me. So I don't plan on doing that.
Yeah, I just think it's not like, they'll say, okay, well, you're doing that because you think we're dirty or something, but it's not that, it's the energy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty much. Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a break. And when we come back, we'll answer more questions.
Don't go away. There's more Stirring the Cauldron with Marla Brooks right after these important messages.
Do you know where the world's most secret bases are located? Do you know what spooky action at a distance means? Is there a conspiracy by aliens to prevent us from conquering space? And where is the best place in the United States to see a real UFO? Find the answers to all these questions and more in Mac Maloney's new book, Mac Maloney's Haunted Universe. Visit places you never knew existed, the Hampton Tunnels of Tokyo, the UFO Trail in South America, Ong's Hat, and the very mysterious M Triangle. Mac Maloney Haunted Universe contains hundreds of reports on ghosts, haunted planes and ships, weird celebrity deaths, mysterious sounds, and a breakdown of every monster in America, state by state. You've heard him talk about it on the radio. Now get all of Mac's paranormal research in one large volume, Mac Maloney's Haunted Universe, with a foreword by the very famous Juan Juan. On sale now in your local bookstore or on Amazon.com.
Hi, this is Marla Brooks from Stirring the Cauldron. One of the best gifts that you can give yourself or to someone else on your Christmas list this holiday season is the gift of insight. And if your crystal ball is a bit murky, think about giving them or yourself a personalized yearly Witch's Oracle deck reading. This comprehensive reading gives you a heads up on what the universe has in store for you in the coming year, and the month-to-month guide offers you a chance to make necessary changes if need be before situations get out of hand, or give you a hint of something really good to look forward to. So if you want to treat yourself or someone else, pop over to marlabrooks.com, click on the More tab on the homepage menu, and then click on Readings to find out more. And have a very happy holiday season, and blessed be.
Hi, Barry McGuire here, inviting you to come along with Marla Brooks and let's start stirring the cauldron together on Para X.
Stirring the Cauldron with Marla Brooks, Thursdays at 9 o'clock on Para X. Welcome back to Stirring the Cauldron. Once again, here's your host, Marla Brooks.
With Nyla Carlyle, and we're doing some readings, and we can probably get right back to it. But I want to do something, maybe it's a big thing, but I want to hear. In general, you know how the world is getting so weird, and all the everything in the news the last couple of days since 225 came up, it was like people are getting shot, people are whatever. Is this going to be continued throughout the new year? Can we get settled down or something?
I sure hope so. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's a very bad energy that I'm feeling out there.
And there isn't much we can do about it, right?
Well, just put a positive intention. I do. Just hope people will stop and think what they're actually doing to other people.
Yeah. That's crazy. All right. Kathy, not the other Kathy, but Kathy.
Okay.
She wants a general reading.
Okay. Okay, we're all pentacles. Kathy, I don't know if you're starting a new job or investing money in something, but whatever it is that you're involved with, your current job, I think you may be advancing in that job. And I think if say for instance, you work for a bank, I think you're going to be in charge of other people. Doing what you used to do, put it that way. You'll be like a manager or something over that. But I feel like it has to do with your livelihood. You're either going to get a promotion or you're going to change jobs to have more responsibility. And I think it will pay off, and you're going to be very satisfied with this new role that you're taking on. And it's going to pay big dividends for you. You're going to feel accomplishment as well as, I think, more money involved with that.
That's
So
always
good luck. Good luck for that.
that's always a good thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Dinah was going to ask about work in 2025.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I think you've got some choices to make, Dinah. One of them is going to seem too good to be true. But I think you have different ways that you can go with your work. I think you're either going to be at the head of making decisions about that, or you're going to encounter someone who's a mentor or someone that you look up to that can help guide you in making the decision on the right path that you want to take. If it's in business, if you want to undertake something else or a new aspect to your work, I think it's going to be a new opportunity for you, maybe a little bit different than things that you've been doing. But you're going to have a really fresh outlook on that. And you're going to be very excited about taking on that new role.
Okay. Let's give Rock the Shock a reading.
Okay. I think you're going to have a reason to celebrate something very soon. I think it's going to involve someone who's maybe your wife, someone who stands by you, helps you make some decisions. It could also, this card could also represent you, that you've looked at all the facets available to you for a decision you're going to make. I do see that something is going to be coming to an end for you. Maybe retirement from everything that you're doing, or stopping doing part of what it is you're doing, giving part of that up. But I do feel that it's going to be something that you come to a logical and hard thought out decision about. But I think you will be celebrating that. So I think it's going to be good for you.
Okay. Tabby Cat has a question, and it looks like one of her cats want it too, because yeah, I know she can type better than that. But she said, want to know if there will be more changes coming to me and my husband in the new year.
Tabby, I think something's going to be ending for you. Maybe some strife that you've been going through, changes that you need in your life. I think you're trying to make it happen sooner than it's going to be able to happen. So don't just charge in and try to force things. I think you've done a lot of work for this issue, and you've had to carry the burden yourself, I think, in dealing with this. But you're almost there. Just don't force it and feel like you just want to give up. Just slow and steady and keep that pace. And whatever it is you're dealing with, you will get there. Good luck time.
Yeah, we all need luck. I mean, this is getting crazy. I guess I'm curious. Now people know Henry from Para X and his shows, and we miss him a lot. And so we should bring him in and talk at least on a show 1 or 2 times. But when you guys met, did he have any inkling about your metaphysical things and the witchcraft things?
No. It was probably not long after we got together that all that kind of blossomed, shall we say? Because I was doing that and I painted and started the tarot readings not long after we were married, and then he got into the paranormal after that.
You beat him to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because sometimes you meet people that you really like and everything, but you're kind of afraid to say what you do, and it gets kind of weird. So I was just kind of wondering how well he took it.
No, he had no qualms when I said, I'm going to learn to read tarot cards. Good. He didn't care.
So did he ever just say, "Hey, draw a card for me. What's going on?"
No. I offered to do one. I offered to do one for him earlier today, and he said no. I don't think he wants to know.
Yeah. That's, I think, what people do too. They don't really want to know.
Yeah.
And then if they do want to know, they don't like it if it's something negative. And I don't mean horrible negative, but just the way they want something to have it happen.
Yeah.
You're telling them they're not. And then they go, oh, you didn't do it right, because they just they don't want to take in what you say.
Yeah, they want to hear the good stuff and what they want to happen, and I can't do that. I have to tell you the story that's in front of me, and I won't lie or make it up.
So what do you do when people have things really bad coming on their way, and you can't just blurt it out? I mean, do you not mention it, or do you try and get around it and kind of let them know that something's going around, but you don't say what?
Yes. I did one recently, and I think the lady's going to lose her husband this year, but I couldn't tell her that. I just told her that she's going to be dealing with the situation, that she's been strong in the past, and that it'll take some time, but she'll be okay. I couldn't tell her that. She's been a friend for a very long time.
Yeah, that's the problem. Not a problem, but it's the hard part.
Yeah.
When you do it with strangers, you don't know what's going on anyway, and you can't really get to the heart of things in them. But when it's somebody that and you see something coming, because you want to say, well, you need to do this, and maybe you can do this to make it won't happen and stuff, but you can't say why, and it's very, very difficult.
Yeah. Well, the very first readings I called myself Nyla of the Night at my sister's Halloween party. The very first reading I did was for a friend of hers she'd known since elementary school. And I knew laying down the cards, and this is my very first reading, and I'm still looking up stuff in books. And I told him I'm learning, but I just knew laying down those cards that her husband was cheating on her. And boy, when I didn't come out and say that, but I said, somebody's really doing you wrong and things are really going to change. I had the Tower card, everything. And she told me after, oh, he's cheating on me. I was like, oh my God. At least I didn't feel like I should say it, but she said it after I gave her the reading. I was flabbergasted, to say the least. I mean, my very first reading, and it was a dead hit,
I think we were talking about that a little bit before the show, that when it gets validation the first time, you want to pinch yourself
Yeah,
and
it's like,
you don't believe it. It's
no,
no,
no.
really? It's
It's like, oh my God.
it's the only
So,
time I'll ever be able to do that. The rest of the time it won't work.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it was just amazing, but I had no idea.
I also mentioned in the opener about the fact that you can tell a person just by looking at them. Where did that come from?
I don't know. I think I've had that since I was a kid. I can just look at people sometimes and just know their personality. A good example of that, one of the times I was in the hospital, nurses were doing their report to each other in the patient's room. So the day nurse brought in the night nurse, and I looked at the night nurse, and she's giving her report, and I'm like, oh my God. I knew this lady was going to play nurse. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be her nursey self. I don't even know how to describe it. You have to, I don't know if you have to be a nurse to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She wanted to play nurse, and I knew she was going to aggravate the life out of me. And I swear that's what she did all night long. Until I finally told her, I used to be the assistant nurse manager on this floor, and that she finally shut up because I had been the assistant nurse manager. So that finally shut her up. I'm like, oh my God, that was a little bit scary.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, it is. And I think we all have that innate thing that, we get a vibe from somebody, or there's their energy, if you want to call it. And, sometimes I think, no, give it a chance. But it always ends up that, the
yes.
first, the first thing you hear
Oh,
is the
yes,
correct one.
Yes, I can tell if you're mean, if you're a bee, or if you're nice as pie. And the chances I've given people, it's like you said, the first impression was it. So
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of hard to think about that because, we have our mind going all the time. So you hear the first thing, and then if you give yourself a time to start thinking, you're going to think about more, and maybe it's going to change. And, it's hard not to keep thinking it over, or overthinking. Maybe that's a better way of putting it.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to do, because you do, well, you've seen spirits as well. I mean, all of this, what's your most favorite part of being the metaphysical thing of you?
Oh gosh. I guess just tuning in and helping people through the readings, because sometimes they just need clarification and know that there are choices that they can make rather than feeling stuck. I do wish I could hear more from those who've passed on. That's happened a couple of times. And
Was that
I think
vision?
maybe.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
All right. I was just going to say, did you see them, or did you hear them?
Oh, I heard them.
Okay.
I heard them. The last one I heard was Henry's dad, who'd passed on. I was in the kitchen, and it's when I had a broken leg, and I was trying to put a spell on this dog next door to leave the cat alone that was under their shed. And I was like, go in the house, blah, blah, blah. And I distinctly heard Henry's dad's voice say, what are you up to? Because that's exactly what he would have said. And I told him, get out of my house, go back to your widow. You are not wanted here. And I haven't heard from him since. He was not a nice person.
Oh, that's not good.
He wasn't a very good dad to Henry, so I didn't care for him. But it's like, it's none of your business. I do what I please,
Yeah. It's I get I've said this before, but when they tell me in my head and I hear it, it's always loud. It's always most of the time 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes we can't figure this stuff up. Like, all right, here's something that's been going on. I'm in a guest house, my best friend's house. They have that big house and I have the little house. And 3 times already, I've woken up to her calling my name. Now, this is 3 or 4 in the morning, and it wakes me up. It was so loud. And, every day I go up and I said, did you get up and go to the bathroom or something and yell back here? And she didn't. And I can't figure out what that is because it is her voice. Any thoughts?
Or it's somebody using her voice.
Yeah, but for what? Just to wake me up and giggle?
Yeah.
That's
aggravating.
Yeah. I mean, the knocks on the door, we get that sometimes, and so that's not so bad. But, you think, well, we're doing these things, we're metaphysically okay. We know everything we think, but no, we don't.
No, I don't.
And I always say that you have to never stop learning, like you said, with the books and everything.
Yes.
Because there's always going to be something new if you go looking for it. So if somebody were wanting to get interested in doing tarot, because see, I think it's the other ones that are getting easier. Some of the decks are getting really easy. They're doing just the beginning 20 cards, and that makes it easier to remember all these things, and those, I mean, the major arcana is, okay, do you think that the major arcana is more important than the others?
No, I don't, because they all relate to me and show me the story when I lay down the cards.
Yeah, I mean, they seem like they're the big ones, and then the other ones are just kind of, they make the way they say it. The minor arcana is major and minor. So, yeah, but
I mean, you could get an ace. Well, not an ace. I can't even think of something to say now. The Hierophant or something, if you don't have anything to go with that, to me, it's not complete. I have done 1-card readings, and you give the impression, and that has a lot to do with intuition. But just that 1 card, to me, doesn't tell the whole story.
Yeah.
You have to rely on intuition to tune into that. But when I do a layout, a spread or something, it kind of relates and tells a story to me. And that's how I prefer it.
When you're doing the spreads, are the ones that, most everybody does, or do you make your own sometimes?
No, I do Celtic Cross mostly, or a 3-card spread, or I'll just fan the cards out and choose maybe 3 cards, and then if I feel it needs something else, I'll pull 1 or 2 more. Nothing real involved.
I'm finding that my Oracle deck works really well with tarot. If I get confused on one, I drag the other one in, and it always picks up where it left off. It's really kind of amazing.
It's interesting that you said that, because I considered getting your Oracle deck and pulling one of the cards for readings tonight, but I didn't. And in addition to mine, because I think you're right. I think it would give more clarification.
Yeah, it does. And I thought maybe it wasn't going to happen or anything, but then all of a sudden, I pulled a card and it was just right on.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, this is a fluke.
Yeah.
And I've done it several times. And sometimes when I do the yearly drawings or readings, I always use both for each month, just to put it together. And honest to God, it flushes together.
Yes, gives me chills. I love it.
I know, and that's the whole thing about this. We get chills, we get really like whoa, a lot of woes going on, and but we still do it, and we're happy doing it.
Yeah, it's like with my art. Sometimes I know when I don't paint something well, but once in a while I'll paint something and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that came out of the end of that paintbrush, because I call it my magic wand, because it just amazes me that is in existence now.
The clock is ticking, and we've got a couple of minutes.
Before we leave, here's a bonus. For those who weren't able to be in the chat room for the live show for a reading, here's a peek of what you can expect in the upcoming year. Now, if you're wondering how everyone can get the same reading, the answer is pretty easy. If you're listening now, you were meant to hear it. So let's get started. January is going to be kind of rocky this year, but because New Year's offer up new beginnings, unlock the free spirit within you to avoid getting run down with some of the harsh realities of life that are going to happen. In February, situations might be a little confusing this month, and the best way to get straightened out is meditation. Just take it 5 minutes a day, and it'll make a big difference in how you can handle this confusion. March will be full of changes, and changes are not always cheerful. There'll be some changes coming your way, and don't try to fight against them. They're important and necessary, and you'll find out why very, very soon. In April, you'll be reminded that you don't always trust yourself when it comes to making important decisions. Just remember that if you're motivated by your heart, your true inner power gets stronger, and there's no limits. If you keep that in mind, abundance is yours. Keywords this month: joy, determination, and courage. In May, you're going to need to do some early spring cleaning around your environment. You need to remove the negativity that's been surrounding you lately, and it needs to be swept away. Use the proverbial broom, sweep away the cobwebs in your house and energy that surrounds you. A swift sweep, that's hard to say, will bring back the positive in your life, and think about hope, faith, and rejuvenation. June brings competition, rivalry, and conflict. If you settle down to use your third eye and waken your senses and tune in more deeply into the world around you, there's going to see many things that you've overlooked lately, just waiting to be seen. The message in July says that sometimes you give up too soon when things go wrong. It's a reminder now that you have all the tools, and remember this, that you have already there. It's okay to ask for help, but you know you're capable of making the right decisions on your own. So the words are fearless, adventure, and action may come your way. In August, there may be a sudden necessary upheaval, so pay attention to what's going on in your world. Know that it's necessary, and you will instinctively know how to take care of what needs to be done. It deals with some issues that have been weighing heavily on your mind. September is a month of Samhain and Halloween, and it's just around the corner when the veil is getting thinner. Open up to your ancestors and spirit guides. Listen to what they say, because you're going to have some plans and decisions to make. October finds you standing over your cauldron, stirring up some new ideas. It's now the time to take the cauldron off the fire and put those ideas into good use. Remember, stirring too long over hot heat will evaporate the contents and all will be lost. Pay attention to your dreams. Mysteries abound. As the holidays draw nearer in November, you'll feel a bit like you're kind of sloshing around, ready to spill over. There's just so much to do. It's a time for sturdy yourself that you can carry on and do all those things that need to be done. Be glad there will be people around that will help you. The key words here are calm, comfort, and dependence. December is going to be all about deep insight. The key words here are change and release. Take some time to look in the mirror and look deeper than what you just see on the surface. It will give you the opportunity to make some changes and leave the baggage behind. So I hope this reading will help you navigate through 2025. And for those who don't know, every Monday I pull a card from my Witch's Oracle deck and what's in store for you. You know, forewarned is forearmed. And you can find it at marlabrooks.com.
Do you have people, how can people that maybe aren't in your neighborhood, but can you do like phone readings and stuff?
Sure. I can do it over. Contact me on Facebook. We can do a Facebook phone message on there. I've talked to people before on there and done readings live. I'm on Instagram. I'm Nyla on Instagram. So I don't post a lot on there, but I'm on there, but mainly through Facebook, Patsy Foister. And I do use Nyla when I'm doing my readings, and I sign my art as Nyla Carlyle.
And where can people see some of your art?
I have some on my Facebook page, and I'll post once in a while. I'll post one of my paintings. I think yesterday or today I put up one that's mostly orange tones, and to me it's a quiet place. And I said, find your quiet place and renew, because when I painted it, all the trees and plants are young, and to me it was like a place of renewal and place of rest.
Well, it's good that you're being able to be found.
Yeah, good.
And, down the line, we'll do it again.
Be glad to anytime.
Because everybody's asking good questions and getting good things too in the meantime. And then there are the late people that comes in, like Jeff Gould, who just walked in.
I love Jeff. I just love him.
Yeah, well, he missed out, but that's all right.
Well, if he wants a reading, I'll be glad to do one for him anytime. He knows that.
Yeah, he knows where to find you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in and and giving some good stuff to a lot of people.
Well, thank you for having me, Marla. I'll be glad to come back anytime, and I wish everybody a wonderful and prosperous new year.
And somebody just said, what is your site again? It's not
just on Facebook.
And
Patsy Foister. I think we're friends, Dinah, on Facebook.
Okay. That's good. So anyway, thank you again. Thank everybody for listening in. And you made the bulge in this chat room today, which is really good. And until next time, everybody, merry meet again and good night.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Stirring the Cauldron with Marla Brooks. Please join us again next week at the same time for another great guest and more cauldron stirring. Any rebroadcast or other use of this program without explicit permission is strictly prohibited. Copyright 2024. The Mysterioso March by Kevin MacLeod is licensed through Incompetech.com.